Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. It's a privilege to be able to talk about religious freedom and human rights. They're both of two of my favorite subjects. I'm gonna address my or bring in my personal experiences, but then highlight the impact of religion and government or the human rights. Being born in Bethlehem, obviously a town that was over 6 decades ago, around 85% Christians. And today, as we're speaking, they're between 14 to 15% Christians, so around 30,000 people, I believe. I witnessed personally, because of the location of my house, living in a war zone for 5 years. So my house still is located across the street from Rachel's tomb, a holy site for the Jews. And during the second Intifada conflict, it was violently attacked by the Palestinians. Therefore, it was violently defended by the Israelis. Most people internationally believe that the Palestinian-Israeli conflict mainly leans towards being a political one. However, based on my personal experiences, I believe at the heart of it's a religious conflict. The political conflict we see today is just the symptom of the religious conflict in the region. I didn't know that at the time. Until I became a law student, I decided to study law to make sense of some of the things we were experiencing as a community, as a family, and personally. I basically decided to, because of my experiences of, for example, losing one of my friends by the Israeli soldiers. She was shot dead, 30 bullets, and witnessing this case where the churches and the Palestinian community made sure that her story goes to the rest of the world. And during the same Intifada, I had my uncle who was a Christian, obviously, he decided to stop giving the Palestinian militant money because he decided to abstain from violent resistance. So they were requiring finances from him. So he decided to stop after a while, and then he was shot dead. This story never got to the international attention. And there are so many stories like that, where it shines a light on the complexity of the context of this conflict. I believe it's easier mentally, it takes less mental energy from each one of us to just take one side and blame the perpetrator, say this is the perpetrator and this is the victim, while there's so many layers, especially within a religious conflict as such. It was an eye-opener when I started studying our legal system on the Palestinian side, where I realized that the constitution we have, I guess I was studying international law and basic human rights, and then at the same time our constitution is based on a religion, which happens to be Islam. And I realized there's a huge contradiction, but in that region, religion is upheld as the main legislative source. And on the Israeli side, they don't have a constitution, full stop, and they're very influenced by their religious beliefs. So I realized the complexity and the impact of trying to walk a fine line between defining what religious freedom is or freedoms are, and when does it become a violator of the law and order, and when does the law and the constitution becomes an oppressor. And based on my experience, it's such a crucial topic for us internationally to be discussing at the moment, because I believe strongly that it is one of the main pillars for achieving a sense of peace within the Palestinian-Israeli conflict or enigma, if I may put it that way. So based on my personal experiences and my educational background, I believe this is not an easy, sorry, this is my timer. This is not an easy and clear-cut black and white matter. Hence, we have all these doctors and all the education to be able to maneuver, not one oppressing the other. It's there is hope, obviously, but this is something that needs certain level of morality and common sense to be able to handle both together and give both rights equally, basic human rights and religious freedom. Thank you.